Welcome to Goddesses. I'm your host, Blair Minerva. Today on Goddesses, imagine a world where a simple moth can bring a mighty machine to its knees, revealing a deeper societal bug that almost kept a brilliant mind from changing the world. In today's episode, witness how Grace Hopper defied expectations, faced forced retirement, and then rose again, teaching us that our greatest potential lies in daring to be different, a lesson you absolutely need to understand. The year is 1947. In a dimly lit room at Harvard's Computation Laboratory, a peculiar scene unfolds. Moth, its delicate wings frozen in time, lies trapped between the mechanical teeth of the Mark II computer. Around the massive machine, a cluster of men in pressed white coats furrow their brows, baffled by the mysterious malfunction. But one figure stands apart from the group. Grace Hopper, her eyes bright with curiosity rather than frustration, peers into the machine's inner workings. You might think this is just another tale of a technical glitch. You'd be wrong. This moment would birth the term computer bug, but more importantly, it would symbolize something far more profound: how the smallest disruption can challenge our most fundamental assumptions. World War II rages across continents. While most women her age are being recruited for factory work, Grace Hopper sits in her mathematics professor's office at Vassar College, gripping a newspaper headline about Pearl Harbor. Her grandfather's naval stories echo in her mind. She knows her place isn't in a factory or even in the classroom where she teaches. Her destiny lies with the Navy. But the military has other ideas. Too old, they say. Too small, they add. At 105 pounds and 34 years old, Grace doesn't fit their image of a naval officer. You felt this too, haven't you? That crushing moment when someone tells you that you don't fit the mold, that you're not what they're looking for. But like Grace, you know that innovation rarely comes from fitting in. Picture a 7-year-old girl, surrounded by the dismembered parts of 7 alarm clocks. Her mother finds her this way, not in tears over broken toys, but methodically studying each gear and spring. This is young Grace, already displaying the mindset that would revolutionize computing. She isn't content with simply knowing that something works. She needs to understand why, how, and most importantly, how it could work better. In the Harvard lab, Grace faces her first real test. The Mark I computer looms before her, a behemoth of clicking gears and whirring calculations. Male colleagues smirk as she approaches. It only understands numbers, they tell her, their tone suggesting she couldn't possibly grasp such complexity. But Grace sees something they don't, a future where computers speak our language, not the other way around. She works through nights, her desk illuminated by a single lamp, punch cards scattered like fallen leaves around her feet. The machine's rhythmic clicking becomes her heartbeat, its calculations her meditation. While others see only binary, she envisions poetry in the patterns. You recognize this feeling, don't you? That moment when you see possibility where others see only limitations. The compiler is born on a Tuesday, not with fanfare or celebration, but in the quiet hours before dawn. Grace has done what many thought impossible, created a bridge between human language and machine code. A0, she calls it. Simple name for a revolutionary concept. But as she'll soon learn, the hardest part isn't creating something new. It's convincing others to embrace change. The conference room buzzes with skepticism. Distinguished computer scientists, all men, shake their heads at Grace's presentation. English-based programming? Impossible. Their dismissal is palpable, thick as cigar smoke in the air. But Grace stands firm. She's seen this before, the same resistance she faced when joining the Navy, when pursuing her PhD, when suggesting that computers could do more than calculate. You know this resistance too, the weight of others' doubt pressing against your dreams. It's not just about programming anymore. It's about challenging the very foundations of how we think. If you're enjoying Goddesses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. Lead without apology using quiet power tactics from influential females like Oprah, Malala, and RBG. Now, back to the episode. Despite the skeptics, Grace pushes forward with COBOL common business-oriented language. It's her vision made real, programming in near-English terms. Suddenly, computers aren't just for mathematicians and scientists. They're for everyone. Business leaders, government officials, ordinary people with ideas, all can now speak directly to machines. Success brings its own challenges. At 60, the Navy forces her into retirement. Standard procedure, they say, but Grace Hopper has never been standard. Within months, they call her back. The systems she built, the languages she created, they're too vital to lose. She serves another 19 years, becoming the oldest active-duty commissioned officer in the Navy. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you let age, or any other arbitrary limitation, hold you back? Grace didn't just break barriers, she proved they were imaginary to begin with. Today, every time you check your bank balance, book a flight, or send a business email, you're touching Grace Hopper's legacy. COBOL still runs 95% of ATM transactions, 80% of in-person transactions. But her true legacy isn't in the code. It's in the courage to be different. Remember that moth in the machine? It's now preserved in the Smithsonian, a testament to how one small disruption can lead to revolutionary change. But the real bug Grace helped fix wasn't in any computer. It was in our thinking about who could innovate, how we could communicate with machines, and what was possible. So here's your challenge. What assumptions are you letting limit your vision? What bugs in conventional thinking are you uniquely positioned to fix? Grace Hopper showed us that the most powerful innovations often come from those willing to question everything, even the most basic assumptions. Your mind, like those ships, wasn't built for safe harbor. It was built to venture into uncharted waters, to challenge the status quo, to find new ways of thinking that others can't yet see. The next time someone tells you, it can't be done, or we've always done it this way, remember Grace Hopper. Remember the moth, the compiler, the revolution in human-computer interaction. Remember that sometimes the greatest contributions come from those who refuse to fit the mold. The question isn't whether you're too different, too old, too anything. The question is, what will you dare to change? What impossible thing will you make possible? Your bug in the machine is waiting to be found. The only question is whether you'll have the courage to look for it. On the next episode of Goddesses, after witnessing Grace Hopper's unwavering perseverance against societal norms, you might wonder, what happens when one woman's faith in her calling becomes an unstoppable force? Next week, we introduce you to a figure whose life was dedicated to service and ignited controversy. She found solace in the poorest of the poor, yet faced criticism for her methods. Join us as we delve into the complex legacy of Mother Teresa, our next master mother who reshaped communities with unyielding faith. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. 7 days, 7 iconic women. Master the art of quiet power, lead without apology, and turn femininity into your greatest weapon. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/GOD. Thanks for watching.